Chapter 6: The Beginnings of Indian Civilization. Exploring Society, India and Beyond, for Class 6th NCERT. Chapter 6: The Beginnings of Indian Civilization. Children, today we are going to learn about one of the most fascinating topics in history, the beginning of Indian civilization. You may remember from earlier chapters that early humans started as hunters and gatherers, then moved towards farming and village life. But with time, human societies became more complex, with towns, organized government, trade, art, and writing. When a society reaches this advanced stage, we call it a civilization. Civilization is marked by certain features, such as a governing system, town planning, skilled crafts, trade, both near and far, writing for communication, cultural expressions like art and architecture, and most importantly, productive agriculture to support both villages and cities. The earliest known civilization of the Indian subcontinent is called the Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization or the Indus-Saraswati Civilization. It is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, beginning around 2600 BCE and flourishing until about 1900 BCE. It grew along the fertile plains of the Indus River and its tributaries in what is today Pakistan in northwest India. At that time, another river called the Saraswati also flowed through Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Villages along these rivers gradually grew into towns, and those towns expanded into great cities. Archaeologists first discovered the city of Harappa in 1920-21, and so the people of this civilization are called Harappans. This discovery is often called the first urbanization of India. The Harappan cities were remarkable for their town planning. They were built with great precision, with wide streets laid out in a grid-like pattern. Most cities were divided into two parts, the citadel or upper town where the elite or ruling class lived, and the lower town where ordinary people lived. Some cities like Dholavira even had three distinct zones. The houses were built of bricks, often of uniform size, and ranged from small single-room homes to larger houses, but all were made with the same care. Streets had an advanced drainage system with covered drains running below them, showing that the Harappans valued cleanliness and sanitation. In Mohenjo-daro, archaeologists found the famous Great Bath, a large tank built with waterproof bricks with steps leading down into it. Its purpose is still debated. Some think it was used for ritual bathing, others believe it may have been reserved for special groups or ceremonies. One of the most impressive achievements of the Harappans was their water management. Almost every house had its own bathroom connected to the city's drains. Mohenjo-daro had hundreds of wells to provide fresh water, while in Dholavira, archaeologists found huge reservoirs built of stone, some cut into rock, measuring up to 73 meters long. These reservoirs were connected with underground channels to harvest and distribute rainwater. Imagine the number of workers, planners, and administrators required to build and maintain such a system thousands of years ago. This shows that Harappan cities had a strong civic sense and organized administration. The Harappans were also skilled farmers and craftsmen. They grew crops like wheat, barley, millets, pulses, and even rice in some areas. They were the first in Eurasia to grow cotton and weave it into cloth. Farmers used plows, some of which are still used in similar forms today. Their diet was diverse, with evidence of dairy products, fish, meat, vegetables, and even spices like turmeric and ginger found in cooking pots. They also domesticated animals like cattle, goats, and buffaloes, which supported farming and trade. Craftsmen made tools and ornaments with copper, bronze, stone, and terracotta. The Harappans excelled in bead making, especially with a red stone called carnelian found in Gujarat. They drilled beads so finely that even today it is difficult to reproduce such precision. They also made beautiful shell bangles, bronze mirrors, terracotta toys, whistles and game boards, showing that they valued both beauty and leisure. The famous bronze figurine of the dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro with her hand on her hip and bangles covering one arm shows the elegance and confidence of Harappan culture. Another important figure found is often called the priest king, though we do not know his true identity. These cultural objects show us the artistic imagination of the Harappans. Harappans were active in trade. They exchanged goods within their civilization and with distant regions like Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. Archaeologists have found Harappan seals in Mesopotamia, proving this contact. They exported beads, ornaments, timber, cotton textiles, and possibly food, while importing metals like copper and tin. At Lothal in Gujarat, archaeologists discovered a huge dockyard which shows that the Harappans were also involved in maritime trade. To mark ownership and goods, Harappans used seals made of steatite, engraved with animal figures and signs. Although their script has not yet been deciphered, these seals clearly played an important role in trade and communication. Daily life in Harappan cities was both practical and sophisticated. People used weights and measures, pottery for storage, and toys for children. Their religious practices are still a mystery, but some seals show figures that may represent deities, along with sacred animals like bulls and tigers. The swastika symbol, found on seals, is still used in Indian culture today as a sign of prosperity. These connections remind us that although thousands of years have passed, some traditions of Harappan civilization live on in modern India. Around 1900 BCE, however, the Harappan cities began to decline. Why did such an advanced civilization weaken? Earlier, some scholars believed it was because of invasions, but there is no evidence of warfare or destruction. The more accepted reasons today are climatic changes and environmental factors. Around 2200 BCE, rainfall decreased, leading to droughts and crop failures. The Saraswati River also dried up, forcing cities along its banks to be abandoned. As agriculture declined, cities could no longer be sustained and people returned to smaller villages and rural life. Yet the Harappans did not vanish. Much of their knowledge, traditions, and techniques, from farming tools to cultural practices, were passed on to later generations in India. So children, what do we take away from this chapter? The Indus or Harappan civilization was one of the world's earliest and most remarkable civilizations. It gave us planned cities, advanced water management, skilled crafts, thriving trade, and artistic achievements. It showed a civic sense that we can still learn from today. And even though it eventually declined due to climatic changes and rivers, its legacy lives on in Indian culture and history.